Hi Cancer, welcome to your October 2017 Astro Update. It's Rena here. Well, Cancer, in October, you're going to have a lot of energy in the fourth house of home and family, but why this is so special for Cancer is that this is the house that you rule in the universal chart. So this is all about Cancer anyhow. Your fourth house happens to be Libra, and so the planets that are transiting in Libra are affecting that house. Of course, this is a general reading and mileage may vary depending on what your sun, your degree of sun sign is or your rising sign in Cancer. So the month starts off with a full moon in Aries in your 10th house of career. Full moons in the 10th house can be a time of really taking your bow and being in the spotlight, being recognized for something that you're doing within your career. And so it can be a time for promotion, accolades, and other attention. It can be some kind of a culmination if you've been working on a particular project. That could be a time when you're ending it. Around the 5th of October is when that full moon is happening. So that's really good. I think, sometimes it can be ending. So maybe some of you, if you're the right age, you might be retiring during this time. Who knows? But it's very interesting because on that same day, there's a conjunction between Venus and Mars, the divine lovers, and this is going to be in the sign of Virgo. Virgo forms a friendly angle to Cancer because it's an earth sign, and it forms a sextile. For you, Virgo is your third house, which is the third house is the house of communication. And so this can be the internet, it can be any kind of public speaking or teaching or learning. And with a conjunction there, and writing, so blogs and stuff like that, YouTube channels would fall into that category. With Venus and Mars a conjunction there, if this is a love situation, you could meet somebody on the internet and it's an instantaneous combustion. Because Venus is the romantic side of love and Mars is that passionate, sexy time type of part of it, the physical attraction. So perhaps you are Skyping with somebody that you've met in I was going to say in a chat room, but isn't that pretty dated? Met online somehow on a message board, let's say. But it could be something that's really good for your career since it's happening in conjunction with that 10th house. If you have any kind of internet business already, like a YouTube channel, that especially electronic, because nowadays we're dealing with communication a lot with the internet. So it's not so much snail mail, and it's not even like writing projects. A lot of times people are publishing them digitally. So whatever is happening, this Venus-Mars conjunction is occurring on the 5th and 6th of October, and that full moon is on the 5th, so it's happening right around that time. It could be connected to your career if you have some kind of communications with your career. And I would say even like teaching and things like that would qualify. So in addition to that, we have Jupiter going into Scorpio on the 10th, and Scorpio is a fellow water sign, so there's that friendly angle to that. And Jupiter has been gracing your fourth house of home and family for the last year, and now it's going into your fifth house of love, creativity, children, and fun stuff like parties and games, sports, concerts. So it can play out so many different ways for you guys, depending on where you are in life, what you're all about. For instance, let's say you're a Cancerian who is in your 60s and you are retiring, maybe not exactly on October 5th, but in October, November, whatever. Sometimes these things don't happen exactly, when I say they're going to happen, but maybe there's a general theme of that. Maybe Jupiter in the 5th house is you being able to just kick back and enjoy yourself for a while because you've been on that hamster wheel for so many years, and now you're going to be able to do the things you weren't able to do before. For some people, maybe you want a child. Cancer is a sign of the mother. So the 5th house can be the house of conceiving children. Especially if you've had problems conceiving children, this may be the case. Now, if you're taking any kind of what do they call those, artificial insemination? I mean, with Jupiter in the 5th house, you could have like triplets or something. You could have a whole litter. I'm just kidding. That's bad, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, Jupiter is an expansive influence. So it can bring, if you're getting artificial insemination in the next 13 months, you might have more than one child during your pregnancy. And it can be very good for artists. And I know that I'm sure there are a lot of Cancerians who are creative, and you may find that you are more prolific and that you benefit from your art. Maybe before you had a hard time selling it, and now it's like really taking off. In some way, your artistic creative life is expanded. Maybe it's just a matter of meeting like-minded souls. Speaking of meeting people, with Jupiter in the 5th house, if you're looking for love, you may have more options than you know what to do with. It reminds me of the 7 of Cups in the Tarot, where it's like all these choices, almost like confusion because of so many choices. So that's cool. And then on the 14th, Venus is going into Libra. And so it's going into that 4th house of home and family. This can indicate some kind of financial gain through real estate. So if you've been selling your house, maybe this is kind of a time when you're receiving payment for it. If you're renting property, if you're the one that is renting it to other people, or if perhaps it has to do with renovating your home in a way, redecorating. I think when Mars goes into the 4th house, that's more like tear downs. But when Venus is there, it's more like, new furniture, new drapes, things like that. So beautifying the home. Mercury has been in this house as the month begins, and it goes into the 5th house on the 17th of the month. So if you're looking for love, you may start talking to someone around that time. And just several days later, we have the sun going into this 5th house. So the sun goes there on the 23rd after Mercury and Jupiter have gone there. So you could be talking to somebody that you're interested in. And the sun is just like a basic positive influence, healing influence, and expansive influence in terms of it's a creative, it's just a general good influence for you. It can make you more like a Leo person because Leo rules the 5th house. So you may be more outgoing, you may be more romantic. And I think about the sun in the Tarot and what the keywords for that is, and it's all those words: creativity, children, love, prosperity. So it's all good in that sense. By the way, I should have said too, Cancer, that the 5th house is also the house of your home business. So everything that I'm talking about with these transits that are going into the 5th house could also apply to a home business. And Jupiter there, wow, that could be really good for if you already have a business, expanding it, or if you don't have one, for getting it off the ground and really making it grow. Maybe right away it grows faster than it normally would. You're going to have a new moon in your 4th house of home and family the house that you rule, on the 19th. And so new beginnings with home. Venus is there right before that. So perhaps some of you are like buying or selling a house. And I feel like if you are buying one, you'll have the funds to be able to do it. But if you're selling one, you may get some kind of profit from that. Mars goes there on the 22nd of the month. So it could deal with a current property where you're renovating, and for some people, it could be just making that move, moving shop, moving your house. And so there's a lot of activity involved in that. So it looks really good, Cancer, because not only do you have like this career hit, but you have a lot of energy going into that fourth house, which you rule, including a new beginning in that area. I always feel like when you have transits in the house that you rule, that it's extra special. So I hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope you have a wonderful October. If you'd like a private reading, I am promoting my natal chart interpretations, which are on sale, and they are hour-long readings. If you've never had your chart done, it comprises analyzing your personality and talents and just things that are noteworthy to me, along with your highlights for the coming 12 months in different areas like love and money. So check that out. There's a link below, rainandmoonastrology.com. I wish you all the best. Bye.